What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Friday, and it is Fan Friday. So, you know what that means. This is your show. Anything on your mind? Love to hear from you, but we got a little special one because it's SICKO season, and we've got some information here. Got some new coaches, got some player news, we've got some cap space updates, so all of the stuff that you possibly missed this week, or maybe you saw it and you want to talk about it, whatever's on your mind, I'd love to hear from you. This is, of course, your show, so whatever is on your mind, I would happily take anything you got. I'm bumped up here still. I have just saw a couple buddies today, right after we went to the trash dump. The guy was wearing an Eagles hat. I got fired up then. Then we went to the one site, and the one guy is an Eagles fan, so we were getting pumped up. I've just literally every day been losing my mind. No matter who it is, what it is, I just can't get over the fact that not only are we Super Bowl champions, but we beat the living hell out of them. There's no question. Best team in the NFL. Just like we try to get everybody to understand all damn year. Well, they see it now. So beautiful, right? We get the trophy, yeah, but you know this team, they're right back at it, and they're ready to go back to back. We talked about it. We're building a dynasty here. I don't care what anybody else says. We are the best. We will continue to be the best. We just need our GM, Howie Roseman, to continue doing what he does in this SICKO season. So we'll talk about cap space. Obviously, we'll get closer to the draft here. We'll talk about all that draft stuff. I am doing everything in my power to work on all of these things. Maybe I should just try one at a time, but I keep thinking of things and trying to get them started at least, so when I do work on them, they're not as tough. The free agents, that show, I've got a little head start on that one. Yesterday wanted to do that, but you guys have been asking so much about cap space. So wanted to put that show out. Hopefully you caught not only that show, but all of the coaching news, player news, all that stuff that we talked about. But if not, that's what this is for. I appreciate all of you guys. Cannot thank you enough for the support. Hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff truly means the world. And I'm going to do my best tonight, after I get off this, to go take an effing shower, come out of it, and not pass out. I'm going to work on this free agent show. We're going to talk about all of the free agents that we have, who I think should stay or go. And we already talked about the cap and stuff, so we'll kind of integrate that in there. And then, of course, next week we'll be on to all of the free agents. And if you guys watch the show, you know that we will go through every single position. And I also have the strength of position rankings for the Eagles. So where I think that they need to add, whether that be in free agency, whether I think we need to get younger and go into the draft, we will discuss all that stuff, just like we do every single year. It's SICKO season, baby. This is like Christmas. And, winning the Super Bowl, that just, makes it, we talked about this. This would be the most fun off season ever. We're going to have ourselves one hell of a SICKO season. So anything you guys have on your mind, show ideas, anything like that, I'm down, man. It's SICKO season. Now, don't worry, I've got lots of shows planned for you, but I'm always down to hear what you guys have to say. And, I'll keep you up to date with all the cap stuff, everything you need to know there. But anything different that I don't usually do, you guys want to throw in there, I'm here for it. But let's effing rock and roll. Let me jump over here to the comments. Hope you guys are having a great week here. It's Friday. Let's effing go. I'm pumped up. Let's go. My man Dank starting us off. That's what I like to hear. My friend, hope you're doing well. Darius, let's effing go. You guys, appreciate you taking the time here. I know it's a Friday night. It's a little after 7:30 here. What is going on? Linda in the building. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's effing go. I'm hyped up, man. Today it was cold as shit. I could barely breathe. You can probably tell. Keep feeling like I'm going to sneeze since the beginning of this video. So bear with me. But hope you guys are staying as warm as you can. The sun was out a little bit, windy as shit though, so it was a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, a long week. I'm ready for a Friday. I don't know about you. So what better way than to talk about some birds? And the family, Chelsea's working, Dom's at her friends. I got home, I'm like, well, let's get Fan Friday ready. I was gonna jump in the shower, but I need to talk some birds first. So at work, you talk some shit, you say a couple things, and you're right back to work and you're doing your stuff. But I live for this, man. I cannot get enough. And obviously, it's like this, even if we're not good, even if we're the best team, the worst team, we'll be here every day talking about the birds. So I appreciate you. Linda, Darius, Dank, all of you guys. Hope you are having a great week. Really can't thank you enough for taking the time. I'm on cloud nine right now. I know the media, some of these fans are trying to push negative narratives. And look, I understand skepticism, but here's the thing. Nobody knows what Kevin Patullo is going to do. He has not been an offensive coordinator, so we're going to find out. Being a little whiny bitch about it is not going to do anything. I understand a lot of people just want to be negative at all times, hate the Eagles, claim to like them. I'm good on that stuff. So we broke down everything you needed to know. But in case you missed it, I want to show you some stuff. That's what's up. Let's go. Beautiful, beautiful times. And just want to say this is the one bad thing about winning the Super Bowl. Everyone becoming an Eagles fan, then you got to compete with everybody to try to get some of this gear. Son of a... But let's do a little recap here just for anybody that's missed anything. You can go check out these videos. We had a coaching video, talked about Kevin Patullo being promoted to that offensive coordinator position. And, hey, we'll talk about it here tonight, but just showing you what happened this week. Parks Frazier joins somebody that was with Sirianni in Indianapolis. We talked about passing game coordinator. We're going to find out what he does with Patullo there. So he takes over Patullo's role there. And we still need a quarterbacks coach with Doug Nussmeier going to the Saints. So we'll see what happens there. And then Cam Jurgens underwent a back procedure because of nerve pain. So he played, through that Super Bowl with nerve pain. That's pretty wild in your back. Just monsters. These guys, we talked about how driven they were to win that game. And then you find out Nolan Smith had a torn triceps there. So he played through, and we talked about it, his snap count only having a little over like 50%, but that's because he was banged up. But the dude was still out there playing his heart out. You love to see it, but both these guys should be ready. Looks like Cam ready for training camp. Nolan, we'll see how long it takes, but hopefully, he gets healthy. Let's keep him fresh, and let's add to that edge department. Can't wait to talk about all the free agents out there. We'll talk about our own as well, or guys that could be. You saw some options there yesterday we talked about. But here's the cap space that we talked about yesterday. And as I mentioned there, these numbers will continue to fluctuate. You'll hear people making stuff up. Oh, you need 10 mil for the rookies. No, you don't. You need about 2 million. You're going to hear so many different things. I don't. I just block it all out. So don't fear. When there is an update to be had, when there is something to be talked about, I will let you know. The Eagles have, just know this right here, right now, because I know you're going to ask me. We have the money to re-sign Zach Bond. Now, Milton Williams might ask for a lot. That's going to be a tough situation there. Love to see him back. Josh Sweat, love to see him back, but he might get paid. We might get younger there. So a lot of options there. Mekhi Becton, maybe he comes back. So we'll talk about our guys, what we need to do to ensure. But I know there's one name out there everybody asks about, and that is obviously Myles Garrett. So someone asked me, a month ago, and we talked about this. Look, we need to add a premier edge rusher. And I talked about Myles Garrett midway through the season before the trade deadline. It's going to cost you a lot, but the Eagles have money, and they have Howie Roseman, who knows how to structure these contracts where you're prorating these cap hits, lowering it, kicking the can down the road, they like to say. But we understand the salary cap is going up. This year, it's going up over like $20 million here. So I just Howie knows what he's doing. I promise you, people that have no idea how the basics of accounting or anything works, I would not listen to them talking about the cap because they are lost at sea. So we talked about yesterday all of the ways, if you caught that show, 25 ways the Eagles can create cap space. And obviously not all those things are going to happen, but it just to show you and discuss how certain things work, but also show you that, there are moves to be made to create more space to be able to trade for guys like Myles Garrett, to re-sign some of those players I just mentioned. Obviously, you're going to draft players, and you're going to hear people with these wild numbers they make up. I don't know where they get them from, but it's funny, man. Watching people talk about we're going to be in cap hell, this, that. You guys know every single year I take these people and dog walk them because I always ask, especially people that are like getting paid and work for these companies, like, what is stopping you from going and learning how this stuff works? Like I post my videos. I'm like, here you go, dude. Free information. Stop looking stupid. Stop making our fans look stupid. I'm showing you for free how this stuff works. I do all the work for you. All the work for free. Now, you guys help out with the super chats and, memberships and stuff like that. So I truly appreciate you. But I'm just saying, like, these people are getting paid by companies and they have no idea. I mean, that's the world we're living in. We got people in the media that don't know how the cap works, but they talk about it all the time. Insane to me. Insane. But what do I know? But go check that show out, man. I know you guys look forward to that one every single year. So did what I could for you, talking about post June 1st designations, everything else that you guys have questions about every year. Just try to jump in front of that stuff. So hope you enjoyed it. Let me jump back over here to the comments. Luffy, my man, hope you're doing well. Well, we'll talk about that during all that draft stuff that I just mentioned, the positions of need. I have that worked on right now. I've been moving around each day, but that'll be out this weekend, the free agent show. So you'll get to see where I think we need, and I'll talk about where I think we should go, free agent wise. Like you could fill it with a free agent, or got to get younger here. You got to replace a tight end or something in the future soon. We'll talk about all that stuff. So don't want to give that away, but you guys know how I feel. Got to add a tight end. Got to add an edge rusher here. Offensive line, always looking to add there. Defensive line, I like a lot of the young pieces we have interior-wise, with the Jomo, Thomas Booker here doing his thing. But if Milt leaves, so definitely some positions I'd look at. And really, if you look at this team, the best thing about it going into this draft, you don't have, we don't ever, but you take best player available. So I really think that this team doesn't have to draft anybody. They can do whatever they want. And, they could trade for someone like Myles Garrett. And, you're going to strap yourself. But if you look at, the free agents I'm about to show you on this show, you'll see, even if you lose all of them, and I think other than Zach Bond, who, I think you really should bring back. Becton, I think you should. But you have Steen, so I get if they want to move on. But look, however you want to spend it, you had an edge rusher like Myles Garrett to this defense. Holy shoo! I'm not against adding an edge. So I'm excited there. I don't really think you need to add anywhere else. You got Shipley to replace Kenny Gainwell, be the future, hopefully, when Saquon's gone. Maybe you would have had another running back to the mix. A lot of stuff we'll be talking about here this SICKO season. So, hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you, Michael. I do my best, and I know you guys are sickos just like me, and you want to know everything that's going on. And I know that a lot of the content out there, it's just a lot of made-up stuff and a lot of just weird stuff. And, hey, man, to each their own. I don't care whatever you guys like or enjoy. For me, when I created this, none of that stuff existed. They're all created in the image of me, but I literally just wanted to change the game. I was tired of the media's negativity because they didn't understand how anything worked. So I thought, hey, maybe I'll teach these people. All they've ever done is steal my content and, look a little smarter. But, hey, man, I'm doing my best here. And as long as I got you guys, my sickos, we'll ride to the top. So appreciate that, Michael. Hope you're having a great week, my man. And hopefully you will enjoy this SICKO season. Koch's mom, Lynn, I appreciate you tuning in. And that's right, Super Bowl champs. Can't get enough of that. And, well, I highly doubt they would want Huff. But you definitely have to be giving a lot up for Myles Garrett. But the thing of it is, you might not have to give up as much due to the fact that you have to pay a lot of money. But they would take on a lot of dead money. He wants to leave, though. So it happens, man. We'll see. It does not. As I was saying at the beginning of the video, I just say it 1,000 times a day because it truly brings joy to my heart. And the people at work, they knew it. Every single day they have to see me. And I talk so much shit this year. I backed it up with, telling them why. Oh, you lost to the Falcons. Yeah, okay. Guess what? Defense did great all game. At the end, they fell apart. They're going to work on things. Cooper DeJean will be back after the bye. He'll start. Boom. All these things. We explained every week why this was the best team. And they figured it out. So, yeah. But, yeah, you guys saw the Huff stuff yesterday, all that cap information you needed to know about that. And, yeah, people are really dumb. It's just like Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, Howie Roseman. They wanted to get rid of all of them, and now we just won a Super Bowl. So, yeah, I don't listen to those people. And, well, you guys just heard me talking about that. Chase Young. Well, yeah, lots of options out there. Trust me. And we'll be talking about all the free agents, all of the trade candidates, just like we do every single year here. Yeah. I wish that teams would want to take, your garbage and, yeah, but this isn't Madden, and unfortunately, you got to give them good stuff if you want to get good players. And yes, he is, maybe. Now, he's not taking the Saints job, so we know that, but we should be good. He should be sticking around, and I love that. So, hell yeah, pumped up about it. That's right. Super Bowl champs. Let's go. And you guys just heard me talking about that. 25 mil. Well, extra, kind of. I mean, if you guys saw the show last night, you saw me explaining how all that stuff works. So go check that bad boy out. And yeah, you're not just gonna. I wish you could trade the back end guys, but yeah, he's pretty good. Davis and Jomo, yeah, man. And look, Jordan Davis is a nose tackle. You don't really have any of those, so that's not the same position as a Jomo and Milton. But a Jomo plays what Milton Williams does, more of that pass rushing D tackle. So as I mentioned, in that show, I like the young guys, and it's unfortunate when good players leave, but that's what happens, man. They get paid. Oh yeah, I don't talk about the whiny stuff. I'm on cloud 9 about my birds, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. Yo, my man Anthony, appreciate you tuning in. See you on Blue Sky. Hey, yeah, I'm on all the platforms, so you guys, anything you use, you'll find me. So I post to every platform. Try to keep you guys up to date with everything I possibly can. So yeah, man, we talked about that last night. You heard me saying, I think you give him a chance because you can't make any cap space savings until after June 1st. So I'd see what he does. And then if not, if you had drafted someone, got some guys in free agency, traded for somebody maybe, then you happily move on. But man, I'm losing my mind. But yeah, you guys are health. I don't know. But yeah, you see Jalen Hunt, you guys know that was a big guy for me. One of my pre-draft fits for the Eagles. I obviously love that kid. So yeah, as I've talked about, him and Nolan Smith, a bright future, but you got to have a rotation there. And I think that, you want to have depth everywhere, but, you got to look to have an actual edge rush because, as I obviously said, you want O-line depth, but as edge, you actually play. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just about injuries. Like, you need a rotation. So all about it, man. All about adding to the trenches is always going to happen. That's just how it works. And, hey, I appreciate you, Steven. Glad you liked it, man. And, as you saw there, lots of options of things you could do. Keep in mind, we're not going to do all of them, let alone probably half of them. But, there's ways to create even more cap space. So when you hear people saying the Eagles can't do this, do that, tell them to tune in sometime. I'll try my best to try to teach them how this works. I continuously do it every year. But, yeah, I know you guys love that video. I always enjoy making it. It makes my brain want to explode. It did yesterday after I got home. I was like, do I really want to do this to myself? Just math on math on math. And a lot of it's, looking up numbers, doing some math, writing it down. But then when you get to the point where it's like the dead money, I got to add up all the dead money that these people have on their contracts to explain to you what you're going to have to pay out, over a 2-year process if it's after June 1st. If not, if it's before June 1st, you got to pay it all at once. So, but yeah, I try my best to explain everything. I usually try to remember everything, but I'm sure I forget stuff. So you guys ever have any questions about that stuff? I'm not being clear about something, you're more than welcome to ask. But yeah, I like to do that every year just to show people, how that stuff works. And I've started to see other content creators and people doing it now, finally, after me posting all this stuff on all of their content for years, finally getting that information out. It doesn't all just rely on me, which is great. But some of the stuff they get caught up with and get lost in. So I try my best to tell them, look, if you're going to talk about this stuff, make sure you know all of it, because then you're getting everybody confused here. So yeah, I love that you guys enjoy that stuff. And dude, this is, I love, the regular season is the bread and butter. I love it. You guys know I love breaking down every single week what we're going to do, how we can win, all that stuff. But I think, this offseason stuff, to me, it's like a kid in a candy store, making all of these videos. And sometimes it sucks that I got to sit here and be like, look, we're not going to take this guy. We're not going to be going for this. I'm not here to burst your bubble, but I am here to show you the facts and the truth about the situations where, okay, we have the money to do this. We don't have the money to do this. We're not going to do this, that, and I do my best to see it from, Howie's lenses, little Howie vision on display. And I like to think I do a pretty decent job of, trying to follow what he does and giving predictions on what I believe could happen. So what we do is, we'll talk about the free agents we have. We'll talk about the positions of need. So should we bring back some of these guys? Should we look to the free agent pool? Should we look to the draft? And then it kind of all bleeds together then. So After that, then you go into the actual free agents that are out there. Would I rather have this guy over some of our guys? Should we improve here? Should, whatever it is, look to get cheaper at this position, whatever it may be, we'll talk about it. And then, obviously, the draft, we do the same thing. So what I do is look at the quarterbacks, right? And we'll talk about every free agent quarterback. And I'll tell you, hey, look, I think you could try to trade Kenny Pickett, maybe get some chump change in return, a draft pick, whatever, because I think Tanner McKee could be the backup. So maybe we just go out and get a veteran guy. Don't look to the draft. And then when we get to the draft, I'll talk about, hey, look, I didn't think, we really needed anybody. You could just, sign a free agent. We ended up doing that, so we don't need one. Now, you look in the undrafted pool. Maybe we'll add someone, in the offseason, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we'll break it down every single position like that, and I'll tell you how I feel. And you remember last year in the draft what we talked about. Hey, I think, you're looking at guys like Will Shipley, Jalen Hunt in the 3rd, 4th round, things like that. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell in the 1st. We ended up getting 7 out of 9 picks that were my top fits for the Eagles. So we talked about Jalen Hunt. We talked about Johnny Wilson. We talked about Anaya Smith. All these players that bring certain things. Johnny Wilson, that red zone target. Can he improve? Catch the damn ball. Can we get Anaya Smith healthy? Can we use that gadget player? So a lot of question marks, man, and we'll be going through all of it. All damn SICKO season and then anything in between. All the reserve future signings, all that stuff's coming. And most of those guys are players we've already had. So nothing to really break down, but I will give you the full list of that. The full list of not only our free agents, but the street free agents, like the guys that were on the practice squad, didn't get re-signed, all that stuff. So, hey, man, and I appreciate that, dude. Hope you guys enjoy all of the content. And, I know it's not for everybody. People don't like that I get stuff right. I know people don't enjoy that I, bash everyone when it comes to the draft or free agency or in the season or pretty much anything. But, look, I get it, man. Making stuff up and just believing weird stuff is the new world, right? So I get it, man. But if you guys are into this stuff, you enjoy content that provides actual information, well, this is the show for you. And, hey, happy to have you aboard, man. How I feel about this team. It's dynasty season, man, and they'll all be repeating that. I told you it a year ago, and I'll tell you again, I promise you, we will win the Super Bowl. And they will all be on board. Oh, this team's so effing great. Let me tell you right now. And it's awesome. But, yeah, don't get ahead of yourselves. Don't, we got to, no. We can enjoy it, and we can talk about how we're going to make that happen. Just like I did last year, I'm going to show you how we're going to win the Super Bowl. Well, I'm going to do that again this year. And, look, I'll do my best, man. So, let's have a go, Birds. A lot of things could happen here, man. We'll break down a lot of that stuff with Howie. Anything's possible. And, hey, appreciate that, Steven. Cannot thank you enough for that. You guys, all of your support means the world, whatever you're doing. Tuning in, super chatting, liking, sharing stuff. I mean, I can't thank you enough for spending a Friday night with me, man. So thank you for that super chat, my friend. And, look, I will continue. I'm a busy man, but I will definitely get as much content as I possibly can out to you this off season. I've got so much. I have my list and I write down all the things I want to make sure. And I try to put it into weeks. Okay, the first week of, February, we want to touch on this. After the Super Bowl, we'll touch on this. And then we get into SICKO season. It's okay, we got to get the free agents out. We got to get that stuff. And, well, the free agents probably would have been a really late one last night. So I was okay with doing the cap stuff for you. I had already kind of gotten it started. So it was whatever. But I will get that free agent stuff out to you guys. You will know all the players that we have, players that are free agents, everything. And I keep you up to date every single day, week, whatever is happening. You will get a video on new players, everything. If there's a reserve future signing that we haven't had here before, I will make a breakdown of it. I will. Everything you need to know. If it's a coach, you're going to break down to him. Parks Frazier, go check out the video. Kevin Patullo, yep, check them all out. I'm sorry. Don't usually take a drink while I'm live, but I needed it. It's been a long day. I feel like chapped lips over here. But I appreciate you, Steven, in that super chat, my friend. Liz, let's have it go. Super Bowl champs. A very happy fan Friday to you. All about it. And yeah, man, and that's the thing you got to worry about. Now, you might not have to give up, an arm and a leg too much just because of the money situation, but you're going to have to give up a good amount here. And if you could somehow convince them, hey, look, Bryce Huff works better in your system than he does in ours, which you could totally make a case for, Maybe we'll give you him, we'll give you some picks, but there's a lot that would go into that. And as I mentioned, for me, you don't have to look to this draft. Like, we don't have like super needs here where you can't trade for someone like Myles Garrett. So it's all about what they feel is most important. Edge rusher is super important. Nolan Smith should be ready for the season, but what if he gets hurt again? And Brandon Graham's not here, and you've got Jalen Hunt, but got to add some more. So we'll see. Like I talked about, I'd like to see the draft. I'd like to get younger there, but we'll see. And yeah, we'll talk about all that combine stuff. And like I said, everything in between, you will know. I'll make another show that'll explain all the key off-season dates. I wanted to do that this week. That didn't happen, but you'll get all of the start times for training camp, free agency, everything, man. You will know everything you need to know. Eagles will be the first only team to three-peat. Instead of being cocky like crazy, you'll thrive. Yeah, you already heard me predict that. So yeah, I still feel that way. No one's going to change my mind about this team. They'll be repeating dynasty season, sure enough. Yeah, he was a rookie last year. He definitely was. But you definitely want to see them develop, and that's the great thing about football. That's what happens. Remember when everyone wanted to trade Hurts and the first year, second, third, fourth, fifth. That's what we try to teach people about, right? So we got to just find out. And we've always been the villain. That's the great part about being an Eagles fan. Always love that they don't like us. It's truly beautiful. And yeah, man, I won't be doing it again this year. I will continue laughing in their faces, and I will continue telling anybody who wants to tell me, Howie sucks or Vic Fangio sucks or Jalen Hurts sucks. I'd probably just leave it on the doorstep, man, because you're not going to have a good time. Not going to have a good time at all. And yeah, I see a lot of people talking about Warren. A lot of names that you'll see each week change into a different player that people will jump on board, and it's always funny. But as I tell you guys, I will give you that information when I want, because I have way too many people that steal my content during the draft, and I like the way we've been doing it. And we break it down by position. I break down every single position where I think guys are going to go in the first round, second round, third round, fourth, whatever I think they're going to go, and then where I think the Eagles should focus. So, okay, we're at quarterback. Should we be looking in the first round? Should we be looking in the seventh and undrafted round? That's more. So each position we do that. And then, obviously, after those shows are done, we get into the My Guys, and we talk about all the players that I talked about throughout all those positions and who I really want. You remember, again, 7 out of those 9 guys were my guys last year that we drafted. So I will do that again this year. We'll see if I can even get a few. That'd be great, but not sure 7's ever going to happen again. But look, we're going to go for another year of predicting who we're going to take. Got Cooper DeJean last year. You guys know I was ecstatic. Can't believe we got him and Quinyon Mitchell. Insane to me. But I will do all I possibly can for you guys, and then I'll give you my pick. And you know me, I don't give it away right away because we had too much of that. And with my streak going on, I can't allow people to take that. Now, last year, Cooper DeJean wasn't our first pick, so I don't like to say that it's a streak of 6 years just of predicting who we're going to take. And, well, for 6 years in a row, we did take that person. So I'm excited about it. As I said last year, if you could magically get Quinyon Mitchell, go get him. But Cooper DeJean, I thought, would definitely be available there. We got Quinyon Mitchell. That run on offensive players had me, oh, my God. If you guys, obviously, we do the live streams. We're going to try to do that again this year. I really enjoy those with you guys. Getting excited about these picks, getting our guys. That's something I truly enjoy. So we'll do all that, man. And, yeah, well, you always want to try to be good, and you want to try to follow a blueprint, but, you can learn things from him. You don't want to just do what he does, but it's best player available. That's what you do, and when you build a good enough team and you know how to work the cap and you know how to go into free agency, that's what allows you to do those things in the draft where, you can get the best player available. A lot of these teams really struggle, and they try to do these, contracts where they're prorating money, but they don't understand their cap space down the road. You got to understand. You got to be able to look into the future, what's coming your way. And Howie Roseman's a magician at that stuff. And you always see people, salary cap's fake or this. And it's like, look, man, something's not fake just because you're not smart enough to understand it. And it's not even that. They don't even do the work. And it's like, you guys get paid. And this is what nobody knows how it works. It's like, I do know how it works. And I show you guys, and I cannot stand that. It's just like with the nobody saw this Eagles team. It's like, yeah, dude, I literally told you for over 10 months, dude, that we were going to win the Super Bowl. And it wasn't just like, yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl, throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks. It was daily videos before anything started, any free agency, any draft, and I showed you who we should draft, who we should sign. They did that. They got pretty much all the guys we talked about. And then we talked about why I thought that would ensure we'd win the Super Bowl. And, well, you just saw we did. So I don't get down with the Dan Sileo, ESP. I saw someone comment yesterday, man, and I'm sorry, whoever this is, because I don't remember. But not to make fun of you, man. But their comment was something about Elliott Shore-Parks told them, Kevin Patullo wasn't a good hire because he's the same person as Brian Johnson. And I said, yeah, I see what you're saying. They do look a lot alike, I guess, if that's what we're comparing here. But I said, your first mistake there is listening to someone that has absolutely no idea what they're talking about and just literally make shit up until I post something and then they all of a sudden know how it works. Funny how that happens. But, dude, I couldn't believe someone said that to me. Like, well, brother, that's your first mistake right there. I get it, man. You like listening to that stuff or watching that stuff, and more power to you. But I wouldn't go around, spreading what those people are telling you, because you end up, wanting to trade Hurts. Your team will never win the Super Bowl, and then you got to jump on the bandwagon, and you got to remember that for the rest of your life. You doubted the team that was probably the greatest Eagles team of all time. So while I try to show everyone on earth that it was, everyone denied it, and you sickos were with me. Some of you took a little time convincing certain things, and that's okay, man. It's okay to have differing opinions. What I don't get down with is the dumb shit. Following Dan Sileo, following those people who it's always fired Jalen, Howie Roseman, trade Jalen Hurts, all that stuff. It's just, it makes my head want to explode. Like, there's got to be some kind of substance to what you're talking about if you want me to take you seriously. If you're just repeating stuff or you're saying things like, well, this one guy a couple of years ago did this, so now this guy has to do the same, or the same thing's going to happen. Like, that is some of the dumbest, laziest thinking I have ever heard in my entire life. Ever. Remember when everyone said Vic Fangio, it's never going to work because Jonathan Gannon did it, and I hated being really good at defense. And Jonathan Gannon's got us in the Super Bowl, and we had the best defense then. Obviously, fell apart in that Super Bowl with the wet field. We couldn't get the pass rush going, so it is what it is. But obviously, I got some hate for the Vic Fangio stuff, and each year somebody's got to hate me for something. Whether it's Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts. Obviously, Jalen Hurts one's been for years that people will just be coming for my throat. But I think they get it. Most of them get it now, right? I hope. You think they're on board with Jalen Hurts? It took a lot of time for me to get people to start making hats and, getting shirts, the Hurts season stuff, getting people to start that stuff. I tried so hard for years to get people to stop talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and Russell Wilson and, any other shitty quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Like, I just couldn't take it, man. And happy that people are starting to come around. I mean, waited till he won the Super Bowl, MVP, and I try so hard, man. But just happy to have you. Appreciate you tuning in here. Interception and fumbles that had me out. I like interceptions and fumbles when we're the ones making them happen to the other team. Always turnover happy. And this team really turned things on. And look, we talked about that. The players that we have and the defensive coordinator that we have, those things will happen. And, I got a lot of hate for not wanting to blitz every play. You saw in the Super Bowl, we didn't blitz one time, 6 sacks, 16 pressures. So I try. Let's just put it that way. I definitely try. But hey, man, it's not for everybody. I get it. Some people just tune in for the draft stuff. Some people just for the cap stuff. So whatever you like, understanding, whatever you like being right about, you want to look smart in front of your friends, tune in anytime. I've got all the information you ever need here. But to each their own, and this offseason is going to be a fun one, so I hope to see you guys throughout. I'm having so much trouble talking. It was so cold, I can feel my throat, my nose. I hope. I'm going to go get a nice hot shower, take a little tea, try to get myself on the straight and narrow here so that next week I'm not falling apart here. But I've got a lot of work to do with getting these shows out this week. So I'm going to try my best with, everything under the sun that I possibly can for you guys. I just grabbed my phone to check it, opened it, and then didn't check it. Like, I'm a truly special little character, I'll tell you that much. Where's my mom? Sorry, Mom, I'm live right now. I'll get back to you. I'm trying to talk about eggs or something. But look, I've had a long day. 5 o'clock definitely came early. I'm so ecstatic it is the weekend. I hope you guys are ready for the weekend. But I'm going to get rolling out here. If you guys have any final thoughts, final questions, you got a few minutes here before I go. Love to hear from you. Love, and again, it did a little recap of, how things went. But you can see here, again, the cap stuff. This will continue to change, fluctuate, all that stuff. Don't worry. I'll keep you up to date. This is what OTC has right now. I do not have the time to sit here with all 60 or 59 players we have right now currently on our roster to sit down and do the actual math for you and show you everything I need to. That point always comes throughout off season. I always show you, the projected, estimated, all that stuff in the meantime, because I know you guys are fiending for this stuff and you got people making shit up left and right. So do my best. But there's your estimation. My God, I can't talk. I'm losing it over here, folks. I'm losing it. But let me jump over here to the comments. And guess what today is? 2 years. That's fucking nuts, Liz. I'm really proud of you. That's awesome. But is that how much time's flying? Because I remember sitting here when you said 10 months, and I could tell you that really feels like it wasn't that long ago. Wow. But we talk about that once the countdown starts, right? Once I start doing the 99-day countdown, it's like, what the... Bro, I feel like we were just doing that yesterday. And then the season happens, and now the season's over, and now we're back in SICKO season. And you got 2 years. 2 effing years. One more time, everybody, a big shout out to Liz. You. Yes! Son of a bitch. That is awesome. I'm very proud of you. And was weirdly just talking to my buddy about that. He has some clean time himself. He's been doing really well for himself. Love to see people succeeding in life. And look, I don't ever want to preach to you guys. Don't want you to ever feel like I'm telling you anything. But I've been to hell and back. And we all have different experiences. So through the wisdom of those experiences, if we learned from them, it took me a little while. But I want you to know I'm always here for you. You ever have anything going on, personal life, doesn't have to be about the Eagles. You just need a friend, whatever's going on. And I know it sounds repetitive, but I say it because I mean it. How many times in my life that I would just go through things alone? And sometimes that random mother effer who wanted to drop some wisdom on me was the best person to talk to. So maybe you've never talked to me before. Maybe you tune in all the time. You don't have to, throw it in the comments here. You could reach out. I always tell you on any of the platforms. I love you guys. I really do. And Liz, that is such a phenomenal feat. And, speaking from experience, I never thought in my life I'd stop drinking. Ever. Ever. And, just to get a day was like, okay. And then a week, it was like, all right. And then a month, and then a year. So I know how hard each day, and in this world, I know how trying it could be. And I think I had to rise above, being the outlaw first and foremost. I had to stop being told to go do these things, and I had to actually just want to get my life together. So I had to make that step. It wasn't a preacher. It wasn't God. It wasn't, I'm just saying, whatever you guys believe in, it was no one but myself. I couldn't just sit there and be like, well, somebody's going to do it for me. Probation's going to make me, or the cops are going to do this or that. You don't have to wait for that. A counselor is going to help me. You got to help yourself first and foremost. That is the key. And then whatever steps you need a counselor, you need meetings, whatever it is. We're all different, but I'm always here for you guys through any of that stuff. I know how hard it is, and I'm really proud of you, Liz. That's awesome. And, I had to get to the point where on days where I do get angry or life is just too much, before it was always, I'm going to escape. You know what I mean? I'm just going to get blackout drunk and not give a damn. Now I look at it like, man, was I a little bitch like that? Like I look at it, alcohol. It's the, deadliest hard drug in the entire world. I mean, that's not to offend anyone. You could look it up. I know the world won't tell you that because it's on every street corner, but deadliest mother effer out there. And I've watched so many of my friends die and, almost died myself from it. So I know that struggle, but I had to have the strength to just, when hard days do happen, I honestly don't even care. I don't even think about it. I go, I've been to many a bars, many a parties, many a places, and people are like, oh, hey, sorry, I'm drinking in front of you. And it's like, dude, this is my choice, man. If I want to drink, if I want to be a little bitch, and they're like, hey, wait a minute. And it's like, oh, no, it's cool. If you're a bitch, that's fine. You can't handle life. You can't handle reality. And, I don't do that to people. I'm just saying, I honestly, for me, that's what I had to tell myself. And I had to grow a pair of balls and be like, yeah, life's tough. I lost a lot of people, went through a lot of stuff in life, but how can I rise above it, right? How can I be the best I can be? And, well, that's without alcohol. And I'm sure you could attest to that, Liz. 2 years. That's awesome, dude. Just how you feel health-wise, how you, everything, mental-wise, everything in life. Now, the craziest thing is when you actually stop, I think it gets harder. For me, my anger was at an all-time high when it was just, I had so much going on that I was hiding from that it all came to the forefront. So that first year is insane. Hell, I always say the first 3 years, it took a couple to really, and then that third even. So I get it, man. But that you have gone through the fire. You know what I mean? You went through the real fire that first year. So that's awesome, dude. But I'm always here for you. If you ever need anything, but I'm really proud of you. Congratulations again. That's awesome, dude. It really is. I don't think people understand. We all have addictions. It's just to what extreme do we take them? And what is that? Is it hard drugs? Is it TV? Is it video game? There's so many different things. And I try to, be addicted to things I enjoy, like the Philadelphia Eagles. That won't kill me, right? Now, they might give me a heart attack one day, but I mean, in the moment, I can't just overdose on the Eagles. Or could I? All right, but, dude, Viking Nurses. You think we'll see a defense reflecting her Super Bowl MVP? I don't know what you mean. Will we change defense because of Hurts Super Bowl? I'm not sure what you're asking there, man. Maybe you could rephrase that for me. But kick some ass. Let's effing go, Liz. Proud of you. Really, really happy for you. And no doubt, man. And if that's, something that's got you gripped up, do it, man. A lot of people, coffee, certain things that could definitely, non-harmful things like marijuana or, something like I mentioned earlier, TV, video games. There are things that can get you. Just because they're not deadly doesn't mean, you can't get gripped up. So if you, are struggling with something, work on it. That's for sure. But proud of you, man. One day at a time, baby boy. Keep going. And always here for you. You ever need anything, man. Seriously, I mean it. And new shirts, you saw those. Yeah. Got a few out there. I see some of you already buying it. Let's effing go. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate you. And I love it. And I hate that part right there that I just read. And, losing someone is the hardest part, right? I always had alcohol as a crutch. You guys have heard the stories. I've lost 4 of my closest friends. Watched a couple of them die in front of me. My dad in front of me, like that. That'll get you. And for me, I was already messed up. So one horrible moment like that can really break you. And it did for me. But then, tasting my own little, giving myself, whatever. Cirrhosis, all that great stuff was in my family, but I definitely rushed it along. I had to take accountability. And, it's unfortunate when things happen in life. Just burying my cousin Deb, who has cirrhosis and, passed away because they were doing surgery and she just didn't wake up. And that's the fear they have for me, that I don't do something to myself. You know what I mean? So it's scary, man. And it's sad. And it freaked me out, man. I was really worried, oh my God, I do masonry. Am I going to burst this mesh in my groin down here and die from it? And it was just really scary, but I never had a moment where I was like, I'm going to just give up and I'm going to go drink. And I think you're at that stage now too, where it's you're getting into year 2, you're getting to that mode where it's you feel it, you're on the cusp, and you definitely, hey, I could, if I wanted, go off that deep end. But having someone, is always a plus. Good to hear your friend was there. And, I tell you, I'm always here for you guys. A random ass person can be the best, I'm telling you, because they don't know you. And they're not going to personally like judge you and tell your friends or your mom, like, I don't know any of your guys' families. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that stuff, because I know for me, I needed that, right? And it's not that you don't love those people. It's just hard to tell people you're embarrassed, right? And, when horrible things happen, we got to be around those good people, those positive influences on us. And when there's bad, you unfortunately have to cut them out. And that's what I had to do, and surround myself with the people that truly matter. And, Chelsea and Dom are what matter to me. And you got to find that. And whether it's just yourself, maybe you just have you, that's good enough, man. You're still here, and we all don't have certain family members or parents or whatever. But understand, there are other people that have gone through things in life, and not everyone. I know this world's on fire right now, but not everyone's a terrible person. There are those that want to see other people smile and be happy, and I want you to know that is me for you guys, and this is my escape, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, this is my way of not being out at the bar on a Friday night, right? This is why I created this, coming out of the damn hospital. This gave me my escape. So I tell you guys, I do this Fan Friday to give you somewhere to go on a Friday night. And I know there's other stuff going on. I got a family. There's not always times I can do it, but just so you know, like, I'm here on a Friday night. I try to be here on Saturdays, and, obviously always here on Sundays. Like, I want you to feel like you have a place every day where you can, like, okay, I'm going to escape a little bit in a good way. And I'm going to get myself pumped up about my Eagles. Because that, to me, all I need is my family, my birds, and I'm good to go. And you guys are part of that family, and you're part of that birds. So it's just right there, man. And when I'm having a tough day, it really makes me feel good to be like, hey, I'm going to be talking live with my sickos. I'm going to feel good. And I know that. So I do get a little crazy sometimes, when people try to bring their negativity. And that's something I try to work on, try not to get so emotional. I am very crazy. And, people piss me off because it's like, this is my baby. And I know a lot of you guys tune in here to get that joy. So I try not to let people ruin that for us. And I do my best. But you guys keep it up. Luffy, Liz, keep kicking ass. I love you guys. And I'm glad I can make you laugh, smile. Hope to, be there for you as much as I possibly can. And some of you, do reach out. And I'm really glad you do, because it helps me too. It really does. And I'm no master of anything. I don't have all the answers. But I try to at least speak from a place of understanding about things I do know. So, look, that's all I've got for you tonight. And it's a good way to end it. I like that. And I'm really proud of you, Liz. And Luffy, keep kicking ass, man. And anybody else, you're going through something, or maybe you're thinking about it, reach out, man. We could talk every day. I'll be here for you, man. Always. Just, my dad used to be a drug and alcohol counselor. It's kind of just in my bones. Like, I just want to be there, man, because I know this world, a lot of times it feels like a lot of people aren't there, right? I've been in that spot many times in life, and I'm lucky to have Chelsea and Dom in my life now, but doesn't mean I forget my past. I learn from it. And that's what we're here to do. We learn about our birds. We learn about each other. That's why I love Fan Friday, man. You guys always get me going off the rails. But it's all love, man. And love each and every one of you. You know what's coming. You know what I'm going to ask for. But if you guys need anything, seriously, reach out. Always here. But if you got anything from this video, you enjoyed it, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share this bad boy. Subscribe down below and join the family. But this weekend, I'm going to try to get that free agent show out to you. I'm going to do my best. I've worked on it a little bit. We'll see. I got a lot of stuff coming your way. Reserve future signings, all that stuff. So just keep tuning in. Keep your eyes out. I post on every single platform so that you hopefully don't miss this stuff, because I know YouTube doesn't ever want to tell you when I'm live. So, yeah. But if you need anything, reach out, guys. All I've got for you this evening. Love you too. I love each and every one of you. And I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great weekend here. Stay safe out there. But we'll be back hopefully tomorrow with that free agency show. I'm going to do my best to put out as much as I possibly can every single day. So that is all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!